Before I say a word, I just want to introduce my family, myself and my dear wife, Betty. We have 3 children. Ian is Ian Baraza. That's my firstborn son. This is Maranda boys. Liana Baraza, that's my second-born daughter. She had just finished her class 8. And then Ivan Baraza is in class 5. The 2, all of them are with Regenesis. So he's the one going to remain with Regenesis, God willingly. They can have a seat. I'll retry. My wife, Betty, we are married for 17 years. I met Betty in 2004, in April. Fortunately, we wedded in April. 10 years later, we solemnized our marriage, 2014 April. And the killers took her life in April. That is the month of April. It means a lot to me. As a wife, she was my pillar and my hope. We have walked a long journey. She's somebody who is very supportive, very caring, and somebody who cannot hold a grudge. As a family or as a couple, we had agreed if there's an issue, we discuss. And that was our way of living. You don't just keep quiet because you don't know what is happening to me. We have walked all this journey with her, and being a caring wife, not to the family, to many others. There are many things I can say we're planning to do with her. In the very week she met her death. To my mother-in-law, I want to say, Paul, you are to organize for a medication on 9th. You are to go for a checkup, 9th of this month. But on the 7th, we lost our dear one. As a family, we live in a society, and we know where we are coming from. I was half orphaned. When my dad passed on, I was in Form 4. In our family that time, there was only one brother of ours who was working, our elder brother, Chris, who passed on again last year, and we buried in April. Yeah, so he worked with us up to where we are. We are stabilizing, and now there are gaps again getting in the family. My dear wife, there are a lot we are to do, and you are not there. The gap is very big and very big enough. I have no one to lean on. But I will stand and try my best 2 feet in your shoes, to take care of our children, and continue to do what we are doing best. And to the KBC fraternity, if they are here, I don't know which group, you have to accomplish what you had planned to do with my wife. There's a donation you have to give to Iman children. And if you do it as a family, let us know. If it will not be possible, I'll take it upon myself and I'll do it with the grace of God. We visit these places, you see how people live, you sympathize. Giving back to the society. To summarize, as it was said, when I married Betty was just doing her finishing, actually project work, at Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. And I was asked whether I would support her to progress in academic. I want to confirm, or as you have heard, I told my brother-in-law who called me, told my brother-in-law, I've decided Betty is my wife, and I will support her up to the PhD level. And actually, I had already planned, without her knowing, that I was registering her for PhD. On that day, I just printed her final submission for external examination for the master's thesis. And I was just waiting for her to come home, to go through it. If it is in order, then they submit. Then we see what the external examiners say. And on that says, I'll continue to fulfill what I had promised her, until God also takes me to rest. Lastly, I'd like to say Betty was someone who was at ease to make friendship. And as it was said, whatever happened remains a mystery, because a lot of things are ringing in our heads. It could be robbery, it could be anything else saying. But as Father said, let her blood hound them wherever the killers are. It's just good to know it is so and so who killed. Even if I just see their face, I can shed my tears and say, fine, I've seen the people who killed my dear wife. But all I would like to ask all who are here, that we pray for her soul to rest in eternal peace. Last but not least, there's only one thing I had not fulfilled, and this one came from my dad. He told me when I was a young boy, and it would be difficult for me to fulfill without her. My dad was an English teacher, and those days teachers were teachers. He came in, he was laughing, but a few minutes, the whole class was thoroughly whipped because of mistakes, punctuations. Thereafter, he started laughing. And he told me, I was in class 5 in the early 80s. He told me, I want to shape your future. I'm a teacher, I don't have a car. I want all of you who are in this class to do better than I am. And he pointed out my name, that Geoffrey, I want one time when you have gotten a job, buy a car and belt up. I take my daughter to Kampala for lunch and drive back home. There's a song he sang for us. Last year, but one, I asked Mom who sang that song. Actually, I was on that process. There was a chorus to do with the Kilimanjaro, something like that. That was his favorite. He used to sing for us in class. So I asked my mom, I asked my dear wife, because KBC should be a custodian of all these things. But the person he tasked maybe didn't do much. I asked friends, they asked other people from other media stations. I didn't get the song. So to my dad, wherever you are, one promise not fulfilled. But we hope as we remain behind, in spirit, whatever we shall do, we shall be all together. Thank you so much for listening to me. It is not easy. And as I said, we are resting her to rest in our residence. She was actually the person in charge. I was rarely on site. She did everything. When they're just trying to settle down, her life is eliminated. That is the pain that I have as the husband. My dear wife, you are my pillar, my hope. May you rest in peace. Thank you.